morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back once again to the channel. Hopefully, y'all are doing well. Hopefully, Thanksgiving didn't tear you up too bad and make you about 50 pounds heavier like it did me. But anyway, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if this is your first time watching this video, and hit the like button so that way YouTube puts out our videos. Alright, just a little bit of news, what we're going to be grabbing on. We're going to go to the action screen and show you what I got cooking. Okay, looks like right here, NVIDIA just did an update of version 566.36. They did it on the 5th of December, which was yesterday. And it says, what's new, the game ready for... I know y'all are going to say this. You're going to say, hey, Jay, you forgot something. I'm going to say, yeah, I know I probably did forget something. And y'all know what I forgot. I forgot that big mouse cursor. Let me go ahead and blow it up and put it right there on the screen. There we go. So, what's new? Game ready for Delta Force, featuring DLSS Super Resolution, Ray Tracing, and Reflex. Forenza Motorsports update, adding ray traced global illumination lighting. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, featuring DLSS 3 with frame generation and super resolution and ray tracing. You all know that they updated the specs on that game, so do expect it. Marvel Rivals, featuring DLSS 3 with frame generation and super resolution and reflex. Path of Exile 2, featuring DLSS super resolution and reflex. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 update, adding DLSS 3 and frame generation. Optimal settings, 3 new optimal settings profiles for Farming Simulator 25, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. What has been fixed? Forenza Horizon 5 and God of War of Ragnarok. Game may crash during gameplay after updating to R565 release driver. But from what it looks like, it says our newest GeForce Game Ready driver features optimizations for highly anticipated launch for this month, such as Delta Force, Indiana Jones, the Marvel Rivals, Path of Exile 2. Additionally, there's optimization support for Forenza Motorsports, which introduces ray tracing global illumination lighting. Sounds interesting. And supports for Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Next updates, which adds DLSS 3 and frame generation. So that gives you a little idea of what that is going on with the new update that NVIDIA just put out. So, but we got more to talk about also too, a little bit of maybe a positive update about Intel and the B570 and the B580. I know I was kind of skeptical about it, but, you know, I'm sitting there thinking about it for the price point, for it being an entry-level graphics card and getting a little bit better performance. I'm starting to think that it's not that bad. I know before I was saying that's maybe something I wouldn't dibble and dabble in a little bit, but if the drivers are good and it's overclockable and, you can get the maximum performance out of it without it blowing up, I'm sure it's going to be a great GPU. So if you are looking for something that low price, the B580 is going to be at $250 and the B570 is going to be at $219. So either way you look at it, if you're looking for something entry level, it's going to give you some kind of performance that's close to the 4060 and the RX 7600, somewhere around there, then you should be able to get some decent speeds at 4K and 1440p, but me, I like playing 1080p, so I like getting that maximum performance and still getting decent graphics. I still play 1080p. So let's see what else came down the pipe, and we'll go back to the action screen and we'll discover it together. Alrighty, this is a little bit of news I picked up on videocards.com. You might want to check them out. AMD Radeon RX 8800 XT is rumored to rival the RTX 4080 with less power. Mass production starts this month in December. So, let's see. AMD RDNA 4 rumors suggest high-end rasterized performance and improved ray tracing. That has been going on for months. Two reliable leakers from the Chip Hell forums have come forward with early claims about AMD's next generation performance. It is claimed that Zhang Hong Hu Hao, however you say that, I do apologize, that the Navi 48 based model, supposedly called the RX 8800 XT, although the name that's not been confirmed yet, could offer simply ray tracing and rasterization performance to the RX 4080. I've been hearing that too. So the performance level would be measured in Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and in the title card, which also shows 45% higher ray tracing performance than a 7900 XTX, the flagship RDNA 3 model in the current series. Another leaker, WJM47196, also says the goals always have been the 7900 XT, but in this case, it is not mentioned whether that ray trace or raster performance target. According to the rumors, 8800 XT might require 25 less power than the 7900 XTX, which in case means around 270 watts. For comparison, the 7900 and the 4080 consume between 360 and 305 watts respectively. And there's the little post that they got going on. And coming down here, it also says it's alleged that the RX 8800 XT cards would enter mass production in mid-December, which is great news because this means it's launched most likely mid-late January. It could be at CES. You never know. And takes a month for mass-produced GPUs to be distributed in volumes to board partners. AMD is said to be working on 3 models for the Navi 4X family. Flagship model 8800 XT could feature up to 4096 cores and up to 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. Would have been nice if they went to GDDR7 like NVIDIA did, but they didn't. This card would utilize Navi 48, while Navi 44 might be coming in to be the 8600 series and laptop variant. So they got a chart right here where you got the 8600, it's Navi 44 XT. They don't know how many streaming processors, but it's 12 gigabytes. GDDR6 at 192-bit bus with the 19 gigabits per second memory speed and no TBP. 8700 XT, the Navi 48 XT, supposed to have streaming processors 3584, 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, 256-bit memory bus, 18 gigabits per second memory speed, and the TBC, they don't know. 8800 XT, Navi 48 XTX, having 4096 streaming processors, 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 with the 256-bit bus, memory bus. Memory speed 20 gigabits per second, maybe 270 watts, maybe. So, keep all that in mind, that their 8800 XT might be their flagship XTX. So that's what they're thinking, but having 4096 streaming processors And the 7900 XTX has a 24 gigabyte of VRAM compared to this one having only 16 gigabytes of VRAM. And the memory speed is a little bit higher on the 7900 XTX compared to the 8800 XT or XTX. So, but they're saying it's a lower amount of power. It sounds good on the rumors, but take the rumors with a grain of salt until we actually see some documentation from AMD that this is true or false. So we can come back to this to see if it's true or false and go from there. But what we can do is we can get started with graphics card nightmares. It's the reason why we're here. So I just wanted to bring that little bit of news to you. So this way everybody's aware that these graphics cards are coming. And there is no surprise on this. So let's go ahead and jump back to the action screen and have a gander. Let me move my head down a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, coming to the first one, they got the Asus, the SFF, small form factor, Ready Prime GeForce RTX 40 Super, overclocked version, 12 gigabytes, GDR6X. See what it says? GDR6X, not GDR6. This is 1.5% faster than the GDR6. They got it for $710. A little expensive, I think, because if I remember right, they had the regular version at $600. So that is, but it comes with the Indiana Jones game bundle. Like, that's really going to matter to anybody, because people are telling me they really don't like the Indiana Jones game. So 3060 for $300. Save your money. Wait for the new Intel B580 to come out. It'll be $50 cheaper, and it should be able to get speeds, because it's got the same amount of VRAM and it's got the same amount of memory bus speed. So best to wait for that card to come out for $250. Now they got the 6600 with 8 gigabytes. Like I said, again, you best wait for that card. This is a little too expensive, I think. 4070 Ti Super OC. They should have had this down at least around $700, but they didn't. So let's see. 4070 Super, $700. They got to be crazy. 580 GTS, no, not for $130. That's crazy. And look at this, the 7600 XT with 16 gigabytes of VRAM, but it's only a GDR6, not a 6X, and they got it for $380. That's expensive. If I'm going to spend over $300, I'm going to save up another $300 and get me a decent card compared to getting me a card that, you know, that's giving you half the speed but giving you 16 gigabytes of VRAM, because that's all you're really paying for is the VRAM. You're not paying for the speed. That VRAM, if it doesn't have the right amount of speed, it's not going to matter. See, for $529, which they had this down $100 cheaper at one time, but this is not the OC version. That's the thing. This is not the OC version. This is the regular version. 3050, I wouldn't even tell you to get it. The 7600, like I said, it's going to be $15 cheaper to wait for the Intel card coming out, I think on the 13th, they said. You guys can recorrect me in the comments below about that. 4090, I can't see you spending $2,400. 5700 XT, I can't recommend, because, you know, the driver sources and stuff are just belated. 4060, I can't really tell you to get that because I'm not a fan of it. Now, if it was the 4060 Ti, maybe. But like I said, if what Intel is telling us about the B580 in their Arc series or the Battle Mage series, if they're telling us it's going to be just as fast, even faster than this, for $250, that it's going to be close to the speeds of a 4070, then that's kind of a game changer. I would love to see the benchmarks on the Intel Battle Mage when the embargo lifts. So when the embargo lifts, that's what we're going to know. Right now it hasn't lifted yet. Soon it will. So we just have to be patient and wait for those benchmarks. See, the thing is Intel didn't send me the B580 or the B570. So I will have to wait just like you all. And as soon as I get all my information together about the benchmarks on it, then I'll tell you what I think. And we'll have that on a live stream so that way, y'all can see what my thoughts will be. And you can join into my thoughts at any time when it comes to doing the live stream. So your opinion does matter to us right here, to me. So if you want to take and get in on the conversation, make sure you show up on Saturday at noontime Pacific Standard Time on the live stream. And if you don't see a post on it, that means you need to turn your notification on. And if you still don't see the post on it, then that means you haven't subscribed. So, let's go ahead and type in new egg, and see what they got cooking. And let's go directly to the graphics cards and see what they got running. They got a 7900 XT 20 gigabytes DDR6 for $650. That's not bad. Even though, but you're looking at 20 gigabytes of VRAM, and it's an X16 platform. That still will be, if you love rasterization, that would be a great card for you. $650. It's over my $600 budget, but $50 more for 20 gigabytes of VRAM, that could be something to consider. Especially when I just got done discussing that the 8800 XT or XTX is only going to have 16 gigabytes of VRAM. So you get an extra 4 gigabytes of VRAM for what? The same price? That's what I'm coming down to. It looks like that AMD is going to have a higher price than their 7900 XT. This is about the lowest I've seen it so far, too. And they got the XTX for $870. This is still a better deal for $650. Just because it's got 4 gigabytes more of VRAM, still the 7900 class, and it's still going to give you just as great as performance as this, I think. So it's like you can get this is a 4070 Super Evo for $640. That's a little steep for me. I think it's a little steep. Okay. Let's see. It's still high. Too many high prices. Yeah, way too many high prices. Prices went up instead of going down since last month. I think they need to, they got the new generation coming out. They really need to lower these prices. It's ridiculous. I mean, the prices are ridiculous. And believe it or not, when these, like Amazon, Newegg, and all them, they buy, these certain sites buy these graphics cards from NVIDIA or AMD or Intel. They mark up their own prices, so you can't blame the company itself for the price markups. These companies have to make money too, so they're going to put a price markup on everything. So keep that in mind when you're going to buy a graphics card from like Newegg, Amazon, and any of these sites. But if you go into Micro Center, you never know. You might find an open box deal and might get like 20% off and have a really great deal. Like this one right here is the ASRock Challenger Arc A770. with 16 gigabytes of GDR6. I think this might be on a full 256-bit bus. This comes with an Intel Holiday Bundle gift, ACS Shadow 2024, with purchase, limited offer, for $230. Now, I'm going to tell you, the A770 is faster than the B580. So, you might want to think about, tit for tat here. Now, if they come out with their new lineup of Celestial, they call it they're going in alphabetical order, like Arc, Battle Mage, Celestial, Druid, and so on. So, but looking at this for $230, that's not a bad price. That's if you're looking to go Intel. Is there anything that's gonna jump out at me? Probably not. This month, unless you get on a Black Friday or a Cyber Monday, you're not going to see any low prices until you jump on that bandwagon. Now, this is not a bad price. This is a Founders Edition 3090. But yeah, it is a bad price. Well, no. Yeah, no. I would like to see it down at $1,000, but they got it at $1,499. I'd say around $1,500. So it's a 3090 with 24 gigabytes of GDR6X. That means it's just as powerful as a 7900 XTX. Should be. Except for this is DLSS 2. I don't know. It's kind of iffy. 6800 XT. It's not a bad price for $400, for the simple fact that this does about 3% faster than the 4070, which is at $550. So $150 cheaper, but this is like 2 generations now. So a lot of variables. And I know you guys are saying, well, yeah, that's a lot of variable, but I don't know if I can afford something like that, I always hear people say, well, I can't afford something like that. Well, yeah, I know. Sometimes, when you're coming out of pocket, it becomes expensive. But if you're like, you're still running the same setup that you've been running since 10 years ago, think about the 10 years that you had to save up for the next best thing. 10 years worth of money, you could have saved up 10 grand, a grand a year for 10 years and saved yourself 10 grand. And then you could have taken 2,000 of that and built yourself, or let's say 3,500, and built yourself an awesome PC like a 9800X 3D, a 4090, or a 5090, 64 gigs of DDR5, let's say 6400 megahertz RAM, and a decent motherboard, that'll kind of equal out to about $4,000. So, but even at $4,000, and you put all that together, and that'll be another system that's going to carry you 5 to 10 years. So that's how you have to look at it. What's going to carry you 5 to 10 years? Well, the system I got right now has carried me 2 years. So I got 3 years to go before I decide to upgrade this system to my next best thing. I'm not like the other guys that, have to get new hardware every 5 seconds. Because even when you get that next new hardware, some of it might not beat the old hardware. Until I see these companies put out new hardware that's from scratch, better innovated than they had maybe 3 generations ago. Way better than 3 generations ago. So if you go back 3 generations and they got a GPU that's better than the one you just put out for less price, there's a problem. There's a big problem. Until these companies start ending the life on the older models, their newer models are not going to make much sense because they're still getting driver updates with the older models. So everybody looks at what happened 2, 3 generations ago, and they're still getting updates. And guess what? They're going to say, well, I'm going to stay with that because it looks like it's just as fast. So people just stay with the old generations. To me, there's no innovation with these new generations. There's no innovation. Look at all the crap they had with Intel's Arrow Lake. They claim, oh, it's going to be faster than the 9800X3D, the CPUs. It's going to be, it's going to be faster than 9800X3D, which is the king of the CPUs right now. Except for in productivity work, well, even in productivity, but in content creator work, 9800X3D is faster than the 7800X3D in the X3D models. But when it comes to the 285K, that seems to be better. It's like buying the 9900X, an X variant. So you got to think about it like that too. Me, I like the X variant. I'm not into the X3D variants because the X variant, if you get a 12-core X variant, could have more than 36 megs of VRAM or cache. Sorry, not VRAM, cache. Could have more than 36 megs of cache. It could have 64. So, and you look at the X3D chips, they only have around 100 to 104 megs of cache. So, going with a newer X processor that's 12 or 16 cores might not be a bad thing. So, you're not going to use all the cache. You're not going to use all the cache on that CPU. People can tell you that, oh, you're going to use up all the cache on it. No, you're not. Trust me, you're not. You'll fill up your system RAM before you will that cache on that GPU. Cache. I don't know. Nothing jumped out really good to me. The only thing that jumped out good to me, where was it? Where was it? I think it was here. Where was it? Was that a 7900 XTX or the 7900 XT? I think it was on this one or Amazon. I'm like, my memory's like shot. Right here, there's a good deal too with the A770. You got a good deal there. But as far as any other good deals, well, you got a good deal here. You got a 6800 XT for $400. It's a Red Dragon. It's not too bad. This one right here, as this has got 16 gigabytes of GDR6. It's not too bad. And then, that's too expensive. Let's see. All in all, treetop tall. Let's go ahead and jump over to Micro Center. And let's type in gaming. No, I never type in gaming. Jeez. Graphics cards. My brain's just like floating right now. Wonder why. Okay, available to ship. Available to ship. Let's see what this is about. $1,000 card, 4080 Super. They can ship it to you from Micro Center, so this is something you can get. Take about 5 to 7 business days. Not too bad. 4070 Twin Edge, no. Even though that's $500, it's not bad. And it comes with a free game too, so another 50, 60 bucks off. Not too bad. The 4070 Ventus, no, you got a better deal there. Looks like they're selling 4070s. I got a 4060 Ti there. That doesn't impress me. 4070 Super with a free game brings it down to 580 bucks. It's not a bad deal. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad, but it's not the greatest neither. Okay, so that's the 9 to ship. Let's go through the rest that's in store that you only can buy at a Micro Center closest to you. These are items that they will not ship. You have to buy them in store. So we're looking in store. 4080 Super brings that down to $940 for a 4080 Super. That's below MSRP. Not bad. No. 4070 Ti Super, $800. Nope. Let's see. These are definitely over my pay grade. Definitely way over my pay grade. $499. We got a 4070 Twin Edge. We already seen that one. Looks like they're selling it in store too. I don't know what's going on with these small form factor GPUs they're now starting to slide everything into. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish, really. I don't get what they're trying to accomplish. Not unless people like building small form factor, like an ITX PC, or something smaller, but truthfully, I like a big PC. I like to have it all stand out. I like to have decent 120 millimeter fans, at least 6 to 9 of them. Big enough graphics card that's got 2 120 fans in it, or 2 140 fans, or 3 120 fans. Depends on if you want a 280 to 360. Depends on you. Super Dual Evo. It's not bad for $550. Not bad. I would say about $550 for the 4070 Super with the game. 4070 Super, no. 4070, no. So you have to watch with these 4070s. There's 2 types. You got one with GDR6X, which is mine, and you got one with GDR6, which is this one here. This one here. And what I'm going to tell you, people are telling me, and I've seen the benchmarks, and some of the games they tested on with that graphics card with GDR6, I seen the results. And when I did the benchmarks on mine, I was getting way more than what they were getting on that one. So I'd say there's like maybe 60 FPS difference. I know that doesn't sound like much, but to me it's worth a lot to see the difference. So, wow. 549, 4070 with the game makes that down to about 500. That's a 4070, but it's not. Yep, it's not 6X. So, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the new 4070 NVIDIA put out, but They cut down a lot of stuff, and just it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. 3060 twin edge, $250. Like I said, you might want to wait for the B580. 4060, $300. Again, wait for the testing on the B580 and the B570 before you decide to buy. Play it smart, not unless you test things yourself and you want to test it under your own conditions, then that's on you. But I can tell you, some of these graphics cards now running at GDR6 instead of GDR6X, I see the difference. I got a 7800 XT with GDR6. I got the 4070 with GDR6X. And I can see the difference on the speed between the 4070 and the 7800 XT. I can see the difference. It is noticeable. And it's more noticeable when the 4070, this one here that I got, is running way faster in the long run. But yeah, I'm just going to tell you all like this. Wait for the new cards coming out. Don't think about buying right now. It's not going to serve you a purpose, because if you go to buy now and then when something new comes out for this new generation that you like, then you're going to wind up spending double trying to get it. If you're going to buy one graphics card, buy it right. Wait for the next generation to come out. Wait for the benchmarks to come out before you decide what to buy. Because right now it doesn't make sense to buy any graphics cards. To me, it doesn't make any sense, because I think it's going to be a waste of your time and money. All right, final conclusion. I've seen 7900 XT at a lower price. I've seen, I've seen like one or two cards that are at low price that are worth something. But also too, that I'm seeing that this is the reason why I'm looking at this. They say the 8800 XT, or it could be XTX. Who knows? They're saying that it's going to get 16 gigabytes of VRAM compared to the 7900 XT, which has 20 gigabytes of VRAM. If you're wanting to stay in the AMD realm, everybody's saying, well, because it's going to have better ray tracing. So what? What if you're not using ray tracing? Don't forget your drinking snacks, by the way. What if you're not using ray tracing? What if you're just using straight rasterization, as is? Is that 4 gigabytes of VRAM going to be worth it to you or not? Is the new card having RDNA 4 going to be worth it or not? What happens if they take RDNA 4 and they strap it to the 7000 series? What then? Then you'll be looking back and saying, oh my God, I could have bought a 7900 XT with 20 gigabytes of VRAM and them strapping RDNA 4 to it at a cheaper price and better performance. Then you miss out. Or if the 8800 XT or XTX runs faster than the 7900 XTX and gives you better performance, but the caveat is it's missing between the 7900 XTX and the 8800 XTX is what? 4 gigabytes or 8 gigabytes of VRAM? 7900 XTX got 24 gigabytes, and the 8800 XTX or XT has 16. So that means you're short a full 8 gigabytes. Some people say, well, you know what? I'm not using that right now. I'm only using 16 gigabytes. Not even that. Well, some of the games that I've noticed that people have been telling me are hitting all the way up to 16 gigabytes. So having that extra 8 gigabytes of VRAM might be beneficial. Even having 4 more gigabytes of VRAM is beneficial because that gives you a buffer room. So that way you can buffer it with your visualization without compromising your visuals. You know, you don't want to compromise your visualization because then when it starts screen tearing and everything else, then you have problems. So keep all that in mind. And also too, the 7900 XT is already got benchmarks out there and it's already pre-tested. So there's a lot of good reviews on it if you're looking to keep, stay in the realm of 20 gigabytes of VRAM. But if you're upgrading from one AMD product to the next, then it's understandable. Some people might want to go the 8800 XTX or XT, but don't realize that it's just GDR6. It's not GDR6X, to where it gives that memory speed a 1.5% uplift. It's not getting the uplift. Okay. All they're doing is they're strapping more cache onto the GPU for buffering. That's all they've been doing. So benefits, a little more speed for VRAM. You got to compromise one or the other. But anyway, I'm not going to keep babbling on all along. We're at the end of the video anyway. And I hope y'all are having an awesome holiday and y'all keep smiling as well. But if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and also too, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I post the next video. Until the next time, in the next video, you know it is, and we'll see you on the next one.